He could have built himself a nest instead of battling the stranger, but the image in the window pane is all that seems to matter. It's his enemy, a nemesis to hate and fear forever.
Music has been a really big part of my life for about as long as I can remember. Starting when I was really small, some of my earliest memories are of lying in bed and listening to my mother playing her guitar and singing in the next room. And I used to call out requests, and she'd say, "Are you still awake?"
When I was a little girl, tucked in my bed at night, I'd have the door cracked open and I'd watch that thread of light. I'd listen to my mother as she played her old guitar. I'd say, "Do Froggy went a courting for the next one?" She'd say, "All right, but now this has to be the last song."
My mother started teaching me to play piano when I was about 3. And then as soon as I got big enough to be able to hold a guitar, she started teaching me to play guitar as well. Moving to Cornwall in 2007 was a real turning point in my musical development, because that's when I met an amazing woman called Zoe Pollock. And it was through working with her on that album that I really started thinking of myself as a songwriter first and foremost, rather than a folk singer who just happened to write an occasional song. She really taught me so much and was an amazing inspiration, and I'm really grateful to her. It was also through working with Zoe that I met Martin Stansbury, who's been my manager and sound engineer for over a dozen years now. And I'm very lucky to be working with Martin, because not only does he look after the business side of things, he also handles all of the logistics of touring. He does all the driving, which is really important because I hate driving, and there's no way I'd be able to get up and do a gig after driving all day. And the fact that he's a brilliant sound engineer and knows my music inside out also makes a huge difference to my ability to deliver a happy and relaxed performance, because I'm comfortable on stage and I know that the audience is hearing exactly what I want them to hear, and that's so important.
Things don't turn out quite the way I thought I planned them. But when I look back on my life, I see things in a different light. Nothing's ever wasted, 'cause one day you might be grateful that you did it.
One thing I really love about being a solo performer is the level of interaction that you can get with the audience, so that even in a big venue, it can feel like I'm just chatting to people in my living room. And there's something really lovely about that. And it's why I'd never be happy just purely being a studio musician. I really do need to get out there and tour and play and sing to other people, because there's this real magic that only happens when you're on stage and performing live. And there's nothing else like it.
Call me, call me, call me, call me.
Because I play a bunch of different instruments, electric and acoustic guitars, keyboard or piano if there is one, a floor tom drum on a couple of the tracks, that helps to keep the music nice and varied. And I also make a real effort when I'm writing my set lists to make sure that I'm varying the mood and the tempo and the pace from song to song so that you get a nice trajectory to the evening. And there's nothing that makes me happier than when somebody comes up to me after a show and says, I almost didn't come out tonight because I had a really rotten day and all I wanted to do when I got home was just flop on the sofa, but I forced myself to come out to your gig and I'm really glad I did because you've transformed my mood and all that stress has been lifted off my shoulders. And that's just amazing when that happens, because to me, that is what being a performer, being an entertainer is all about.
The tug of the moon is slowing us down, drawing the tide, buckling the ground. Little by little, as centuries pass, it stretches our days. The years growing longer by such small degrees, we don't notice the change until noon comes a moment too late. So we make an adjustment in time at the end of the countdown, before all lang syne. 1 second to add before midnight, and then we all cheer with tears and with kisses. We greet the new year while the moon passes over us ever more distantly, pulling away as we turn towards the sunrise and night becomes day. We count up the lengthening hours that remain till the end comes too soon, for an earth spinning under